Prudence.
First got it.
Sure. When say you have to do?
Prudence, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon again. Most righteous and eternal Father, as we come before your presence this afternoon, Lord, to give thee thanks and to give thee praise for everything that you have done for us. As we're about to go into our meeting, I pray, Lord God, that everything will be said to your name's honor and glory. Continue to guide us, continue to protect us, and help us, Lord, to help our children to be good children at school with their teachers and their friends. Continue to guide us and to protect us as we tell you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Prudence. Thank you very much. Well said. And I'm sure that your prayer will be answered, or your prayers will be answered with all our efforts. All right, so let me thank you very much, parents, for being here. As I said before, we are hoping that this won't be a lengthy meeting. The meeting was called for one main purpose, but before we get into that one main purpose of the meeting, let me welcome a few members who are here. We have Mrs. Joman, who is the grade 8 coordinator, one of the grade 8 coordinators. I'm not sure which other teachers are on staff, are on the meeting. If there are other teachers here, they could just indicate in the chat that they are present. And we also have Mrs. Brownwind, who is the president of the PTA, Parent Teachers Association. So I want to welcome both of them, along with all our parents who are here. Thank you very much for being here. Now, just before, as I said, just before we go into the main matter at hand, just to indicate that we are coming to the end of the school term. School closes officially next Friday. So all your children are now currently doing internal exams, and all of them have exams right up to next Friday. So I hope that you have been encouraging them to not just turn up for the exams and do little or nothing on the paper, but to do their best and to make sure that they are preparing to do their best on the papers. We know that it has been a challenging 2.5 years for all of these kids. Those in grade 7 would have been significantly impacted during their grade 5 and 6 years. Those who are in grade 10, obviously, would have been their education would have been disrupted in the middle of grade 8, and therefore they continue to face challenges. But despite all of that, we have to be mindful that life goes on. We cannot sit around and continue to mope over the past and to just have regrets and not look forward. And so, you know, we are at a point where we can thankfully feel confident that we are on the way back to normality, and that in some time in the not too distant future, there will be the opportunity for us to do the things that we normally do in a safe environment. I am thankful that we are alive, that all of us who are here would have survived, and that most of us would not have had peer persons close to us or lost persons close to us. But we know that there are others, there are persons who have suffered losses because of COVID, and I think some because of other reasons as well. But nonetheless, we give thanks that we are here. So the students will go on to do they are now doing their exams, and the exams will be finished next Friday. Also want to remind you that next week we will have our reunion activities, our 60th anniversary activities. And so there are a number of activities that the school will be engaged in, starting on Sunday, which are church service at the New Testament Church of Santa Cruz. That church is on Institution Drive, just across from the fire station. We will be having a church service. And then on Monday, we will be having Stakeholders Day, where we will get the opportunity to interact with some of our stalwarts, some of the persons who have been integral in the development of STETHS over the last 60 years. And on Tuesday, we have our Career Day, where we will have people coming in and discussing career options to our students. On Thursday, we have graduation. On Friday, we have a fun day. And on Saturday, we will have a banquet We'll also have a 5K in the morning. I know Mrs. Holness has been communicating with you. Your form teachers would probably have been communicating with you as well. So we encourage you to do your part in supporting these activities as we celebrate 60 years of existence. Now, parents, I've said a mouthful without getting to the point I want to make. Just before I get to that point, I don't know if there's any other grade coordinator or form teacher here who wants to say anything before I move to the main matter. Or Mrs. Brownwin, sorry. Anybody wants to say anything? All right. So let me move on. So parents, one of the things we have gone roughly 5.5 months, 5 months of face-to-face, full face-to-face classes for our students. We have been able to get the opportunity to reflect on what has transpired, as to observe some of the challenges that COVID would have caused with our students. Now, one of the most obvious things that I think everybody's aware of is the fact that many of our students have lost out academically because they would have missed so much classes during the 2 years that they were at home. Some not only missed the face-to-face classes, but they never participated much in their online classes. And as such, we have had serious deficiencies. We have identified serious deficiencies in students' academic performances and where they are academically. One of the good things with us though is that for the most part, our students are intelligent students who are able to manage their schoolwork if they are focused, if they are disciplined, and if they are focused, and if the opportunity is there for them to learn, they will learn. So we are happy for that although there are shortcomings and many of these students are behind, the fact is that they have the ability to do well, they have the ability to catch up because they are very intelligent students. However, that leads me to the concern that we have, which is whether or not they are focused enough or disciplined enough to actually make use of that ability that they have. And sadly, we think that that is the biggest problem we have. We have found out that many of our students are very challenged in terms of their ability to be disciplined, to be focused, and to concentrate on what they should be doing as students. We recognize that the time spent at home during the pandemic, right, has caused significant weaknesses in how our students have developed. And this is particularly true for our younger students, our grade 7 and 8 students. Right now, any teacher you speak to at STETHS, and I think that probably goes across the board, many schools across the board, the most indisciplined set of students now are our grade 7 and 8 students. The younger ones, they are the ones that we have had the most difficulty with, where discipline is concerned, right? They are having challenges dealing with conflicts. They don't seem to know how to deal with persons that they have disagreement with. In terms of their level of respect for other persons, not just teachers, but their own peers, and those who they deal with, it is really, really lacking, right? So we are really, really concerned about that part of our students' life and their development. We also recognize that many of them would have had difficulties at home in terms of their relationships with their parents, with their siblings, and just generally how they interacted with persons in their household. And so we have found challenges at school ranging from students being suicidal, students being indisciplined, students taking drugs. Well, drugs in terms of alcohol and smoking. And we're talking about grade 7 and 8 students, by the way. So we now have something where they call vaping, where we find our grade 7 and 8 students are doing. All of these things we attribute to the fact that we did not have the opportunity to participate in their social upbringing over the last 2 years. And so we are really, really concerned that with the summer coming up, and the summer break scheduled for 2 years, it will provide yet another opportunity for our students to basically go astray in their communities. And as such, I have called this meeting because we have had discussions, that is the staff along with the school board, we have had discussions and we have come to the decision that we will have to ensure that our students do not stay at home for the entire 8 weeks starting July 4. And so we are going to have a summer of activities that will be mandatory, meaning that it will be compulsory for all our students to participate in. Mrs. Drummond, who is coordinating the activities, will share more details, but what I can tell you is that it means that all your children will have to report to school at least 2 days per week for 5 weeks during the summer, starting July 11th. So while school will close for classes on July 1, next week, Friday, we will give them 1 week break to allow the teachers to complete marking their exams. And then starting the week of July 11th, students are going to have to report to school 2 days per week, where they will be engaged in various activities. It won't be necessarily academic activities, but activities that we hope to use to gear them towards developing positive behavioral attitudes. So those 5 weeks will start July 11th. We will take a break during the week of August 1 to 5, and they return on August 8 for 2 weeks. We will not be charging students to attend these classes. All right, so there will be no charge, no fees associated with them attending. However, it will be a costly venture for us because we will have to be providing resources for them to use. We will also have to pay persons to come in to help them, whether it's going to be training for the activities that they'll be doing or teaching or whatever. So it will be a costly venture, but we do not want the parents to have to pay for these activities. But what we are going to be asking is that parents who have outstanding school fees, they make sure that they pay, even if they can't afford to pay it off, they make sure that they make a special effort to pay if it's even a part of that outstanding balance, so that we can use it to help to ensure that our students are better prepared to be responsible adults and not become somebody that as parents we are not going to be proud of, right? So as I said, it's going to be mandatory, it's going to be compulsory, unless special permission is sought. So for example, if you had already booked a flight for the child to spend holidays abroad, then you can ask permission, just give us a copy of the airline ticket so that we know that you're not lying. Or if the child is to go somewhere that they have to go, then you come in and discuss it with us. But all students are expected to be here. We are going to be paying particular attention to some students who we have observed seems to have real challenges and who need the help, or else they are going to mash up the school and spoil other students. Those students are going to have to be here. Right? So that list will be published by Monday of next week of those students we are going to be paying special attention to, but we expect all students to be in attendance. All right. So basically, that is why we have called this meeting, to inform you that your children will be expected to attend summer school or summer activities. It won't be school where they're coming to do chemistry and physics and history and maths and English. Right? Mrs. Drummond, I'm going to hand over to her for her to give us a brief summary of what the summer activities are going to be like and what they are about, why we are doing them. So Mrs. Drummond?
Yes, sir.
Let me answer Anna's question before we go to you. And I'll just answer that one question. Anybody else has a question, just hold it until Mrs. Drummond speaks. So Anna, you can unmute and go ahead.
Just a quick question, sir, although you answered what I was about to ask, some of it, because I already made preparation for my son and I to go abroad. But who do we send? I have an itinerary that I can send. Who do we send to specifically?
You can send it to me or Mrs. Drummond or the form teacher or the grade coordinator. So that's
Okay.
4 options.
Thank you.
All right, okay. Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, sir, and any other teacher that may be present on the platform. Now, as was mentioned, your child will be expected to be at school only 2 days. Now, for grades 7 and 8, they will come in on Tuesday and Thursday, beginning at 9, and we will end at 2 o'clock. They will get their lunch between the hour of 11 and 12. So we will be engaging them for 4 hours per day. One of those hours will be for games and activities. Now, as you were told, it's not any book venture. They are going to be working with their hands. They are also going to be working with each other because we need them to develop interpersonal skills. And that is really the main aim of the summer activity, to allow them to develop interpersonal skills, how to deal with conflicts when conflicts may arise, how it is that they will also view education and coming back into the space of school, because being out for so long, many of them don't appreciate being at school. And so we see them acting out. So the summer is also geared to help them to recognize that school is more than just bookwork. It is also there to help them to develop other skills. So the activities that they're going to participate in, girls like to look at nails, face, etc. So your children will be participating in nail care attendant if they decide to choose that, plumbing for the boys, game creation and app designing. They are also going to be looking at farming, creative cooking. All of these activities we are going to have them participating in, some of which at the end of the 5 weeks, they may even be certified, because Heart will be coming in to do some of these activities with our students. We will also be looking at some of the clubs that we can introduce in September, which is the High JMIS club. That's the Jamaica Moves activity, which the government is trying to instill in our schools, and also healthy living within our children, because many of them are not eating healthy. We are also hoping to help them to be better speakers. So we're going to have public speaking classes. We're going to have leadership training classes. I know as parents, some of you have children who are leaders, but they need to be guided. So we are going to also have that within the summer. So all we're asking you for is to send them out for those 2 days. Remember, it is Tuesday and Thursday for your child. It starts at 9 and it ends at 2 o'clock. So they should be home based on how far they live. You would know what time they should get home. We will not be able to give them lunches for free. So the tuck shop will be open. So you just need to give them their lunch money. You were told that you will not have to pay for this. So we're only requesting that you provide us with the school fee so that we can fund this activity for the summer. We want them to come and have fun. We want them to come and interact with each other with healthful interaction, where no fighting, no quarreling, etc. That's what we're hoping to have for the summer. So I'm just going to tell you the aim is to develop holistic students that will appreciate the importance of education in all aspects of their lives, so that they can take their place in creating a better society. I know that we are not the only ones who want your children to be better or to be able to take their place in society. We know as a school that you too want to ensure that your child makes you proud. You want to know that you're not wasting your money to send them to STETHS for 5 years only to come out with nothing, or only to be suspended within the period. And so we're asking you to work with us. I know that some of them are going to tell you, but mommy or daddy, we've been to school for the whole year or since January, don't want to go to school anymore. Don't listen to that. Look at the good. We want you to look beyond their complaint, look beyond their tears, because some of them are going to shed tears. look beyond their tears and see what we're trying to help you as parents to get to. We want them to be good products. And so we're asking you please to work with us to send them out. And I'm going to say it again, it's only 2 days out of the week. That's all we're asking you for. And so parents, we need your support so that we can help our children to be better off. We see that they're coming out to be gunmen. They're coming out to be ladies who are helping these guys in the scamming because it's quick money. So please, we're begging you, send them out. Now, in terms of the dress code, they will wear their school shirt and the jeans. No ripped jeans, plain jeans. So any one of the school shirts, because they have the house shirt, they have their PE shirt, and they also have their normal school shirt. And remember, it's 2 days, so they have enough. So no plain other color shirt, nor any other shirt. School shirt, right? So their school shirt and the jeans. That's the attire for the program. All right. And so, sir, you can open the floor for any questions.
Yeah, let me just answer a few questions. So somebody asked about bus. Obviously, if we are expecting a good turnout in terms of numbers. So we expect every day. So it will be, so the grades 8 and 9 will come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the grades 9 and 10 will come on Mondays and Wednesdays. And also all students who are in sixth form now or in grade 11 and wish to return to sixth form at STETHS, they will have to participate in the program. So it means that we are expecting to have a number of students on campus right throughout the week, which means that the buses can run. So we will meet with the bus drivers and explain to them and ask them to just get from the students and the parents a list of those which days they are coming so that they can determine if they will be able to make it an economic venture, but we think it will be, right? So we are working on that as well. What we are also going to be looking at is those students who are on path. Those students who are on path, we are going to look at how we can help them with the transportation cost. So if your child is on path, we're going to look at how we can help them as well with their transportation cost. In terms of other questions I hear, we will allow, so it's going to have to be, as Mrs. Drummond said, jeans plus one of your school shirts, anyone, the house PE school shirt, or if you play sport for the school and have a school jersey, once it's a branded STETHS shirt, you can wear it, right? In terms of braids, we will allow braids, but it can't be braids that you put on to go to weddy or whatever those parties are, right? So what we want to focus on during the period is actual discipline, socialization, students being able to live with each other, work with each other as a team, resolve conflicts where they exist, and also give us the opportunity to establish the standards that we expect of STETHS. Because I find that these students who come here now in grade 7 and 8 in particular, they don't seem to understand what it is to be a STETHS student. They don't seem to understand what it is to be wearing a STETHS uniform or a STETHS epaulette. And we want to make sure that we do not send them home for the summer and all of what we have tried over the last 6 months is lost. We want to make sure that when they come back in September, we are as close to normal in terms of our expectations as possible. And if we have to take drastic actions in terms of discipline, then we would be satisfied that we have done our part in ensuring that students understand what the expectations are. So those are, I think, answers to some of the questions that were asked regarding bus and braids and dress. Let me see if there are any other questions that may be general questions. So the braid length can be long, but no coloring. We don't expect them to have any colors in them. And if they just repeating that the summer school will start on the week of July 11th. So because you are here on a Tuesday, It means that the first day for grade 7 and 8 would be Tuesday, the 12th of July, right? And it will be 2 days per week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting July 12th. And then there is going to be a break the first week of August because that's Independence and Emancipation Week. And then they do their last 2 weeks after that week. All right? So,
one more thing, sir. One more thing. I want to tell the parents that each child will not do more than 3 activities. So it's not that they're going to be bogged down with a lot of things. Not more than 3 activities, and all of them will be expected to do etiquette. During the etiquette program, that's where they're also going to be learning interpersonal skills and other ways of dealing with each other. So not more than 3 activities. You can continue now, sir.
3 activities per week.
Yes.
Right, so they're having 4 sessions per week, 4 sessions per week, but those 4 sessions will be made up of no more than 3 activities. Right? So, and each week they will do 8 hours for the week. Right? And again, reminding that there's no charge for the summer school, but there will be a cost. There will be a cost that STETHS will have to stand. And we are asking for your support just by paying the normal school fee that you got to pay last September. If you owe anything, just pay it or pay some of it so that we can help to fund it. What we are going to be doing, as Mrs. Drummond said, includes a lot of activities that require resources. We are going to get hard coming. So for the senior students, for example, they'll be doing robotics, right? They'll be doing other hard courses. So please do just make your contribution by paying part of the outstanding school fees. All right. 2 hands are up. So let me go with Mrs. Brown-Wynne. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to say that it is commendable that the school has identified these challenges and are taking steps to implement a program to intervene. It shows that STETHS really has the holistic development of our children at heart, and it is really commendable. So I would really love to commend you first. And then secondly, I would like to join in urging our parents to support this program as best as possible. I know that it is something new and we would have had our plans for the summer, but I'm urging you to see how best we can rearrange these plans for our children, because this program is benefiting our children. It is ensuring that the holistic development of our children is placed at the forefront. I know, for example, my children are not so keen on it, but it is not if they will go, they have to go. You understand? Because, you know, interaction is important. Our children we are losing our children, and it's a great impact on every aspect of their lives. So we really need to take this thing seriously and support it as best as possible. There are members of the PTA exec who will be assisting with some of these, the delivery of some of these programs. If there are other persons who are interested, I don't believe it's too late, Ms. Drummond, is it? To let us know that you would want to be a part, and, you know, so that we can partner with the school for our children, because in the end, we will all benefit. All right? That's all I have to say.
Not too late at all, Mrs. Wynne. Any parent who is available.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much. And I would really appreciate parents volunteering to come in for a 2-hour session, tell us what you can do, and we would love to involve you. I had a call earlier this afternoon. A principal of a high school in Montego Bay called me to ask me he wants his boys to come and camp for a few days for Doncaster Cup training. And I was telling him that I'm not sure what's going to happen because I have this program. And he was so excited. He said, sir, if you want me to come in and talk to his students, then, you know, I will come. Just tell me. Right? That's a principal from another high school. So it is something that's an opportunity. I have a son in grade 8 and he's not keen on it either. Right? He's not keen on it either. He said, Daddy, you make the picnic them vex with you. Right? But we are the adults, we are the parents, we are the adults, and we know what is best. And so we have to, we see where this is going, and we are the ones who have to shine the light along the right path for our students. And therefore, you know, it is only 230 odd parents who are here, and we should really be having 600 plus. And that in itself says a lot, because it is the same thing. It is maybe these 200 of us who are here who will be most aware of the need, and probably would pay keenest attention to our students. But we have all these other students whose parents probably couldn't care less. We have to get them out. We have to get them out. We have to help those children, because the truth is, many of our children have mothers and fathers, but no parents, right? They have mothers and fathers, but no parents. And therefore, our teachers could easily take the summer break, and go home and rest, because many of them are tired. Many of them are tired. But we know that in the long run, it better would make the sacrifices now and have an easy life 2 or 3 years down the road, rather than allow this to get out of hand and we are all over the place dropping down dead because of the pressures that we come under. So parents, I want all of you to commit to doing this for your child, but even more so to commit to getting every single child involved in this program. All right?
Mr. Wellington, I know you would have given me the opportunity, but just one more point. You mentioned that there are 200 and plus parents here, and the ones who are not here may not be maybe the ones who are not so enthused. But those who are here need to recognize that these children are the ones who will sit in the classroom with our children. So we need to encourage these parents to send out their children in whatever way, whatever strategies we can use to get them out, because these children who are not interacting well, who don't want to be a part of this program, are going to come back to school in September to interact with our children with their poor socialization.
And influence, not just interact, influence.
Right, influence them with their poor socialization skills. So we need to jump on this, and all of us need to make it our point of duty, the 200 and odd of us who are here, to encourage the other parents to send out their children. Thank you.
Thank you. I see a parent, Keisha Cardosa, who I know is a very willing parent. And I see Keisha saying that I will try and participate. I know by saying that, Keisha, I'm going to allow you to speak and tell us what you're going to do for us, right? So when you're ready, put up your hand, and I'll allow you to introduce yourself and tell you what your contribution will be. All right, Cassandra. But Cassandra took down her hand. Carol. Carol, you can unmute and go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Wellington.
Good evening.
Yes, I just wanted to find out if you mentioned school shirts, but I realize my son's shirts are getting, school shirt is a bit tight. Do you have any at the school that we could purchase?
If we don't have now, we may have by the time summer school starts. If we don't have any, but if it's tight, that means he uses a bigger size. So yes, we probably have the bigger sizes.
And I don't remember the price because I bought that. He's in 8th grade, but I bought that in 7th grade. He was in 7th grade. So I would want to know what the price would be like now.
All right, I'll find out and we'll post it in the group.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Okay.
N. Johnson, you can unmute and go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, staff, parents. I also want to join in commending you and your staff, Mr. Wellington, for recognizing this need and making the effort to fill the gap. It has been a concern among, I'm sure, all of the parents here, but and has been scary at times. But just as you were just saying, and another and I think Mrs. Brownwin was saying that the parents who are not here might be the parents of the students who we need to reach the most. And I don't know, other than us encouraging them, if that's not enough, is there any way? I mean, I know you said this is mandatory. Is there any strategies that you are able to employ to ensure that we have full participation from the students? What happens if they don't participate? And yes.
Oh, you finished? You want me to go ahead, or you? Yeah, okay. All right. So very good point, and just re-emphasizing the point. So what we have said, right? What we have asked our teachers to do is to identify students who we think it is most important that these students attend, right? Based on what we would have observed so far. So those students we are going to target to ensure that they are actually present. One of the issues that we have is sometimes these parents don't communicate well with us in terms of they're not getting the messages and so on, and these students don't take home messages. So those students we are going to target specifically to ensure that they are actually here, right? So that is the effort that we're making. What we are also going to do midway through, before we take that break in August, normally for end of summer, end of school year, parents just come in and collect their reports and their vouchers and go and pay the school fee. This year, we're actually going to have Parents' Day for each grade level. So when the reports are ready the last week of July, one day, all the grade 7 parents are going to come in and meet with at least 2 teachers from the class who can give them feedback as to what is happening. All right, so that feedback would entail what has happened over the last 6 months, the last 2 terms, plus what would have been happening over the summer activities. So we are going to have that period now where we try and capture the parents. If parents don't turn up for all of that, then we are going to not, those students will not be allowed to return to classes unless the parents come in, right? What we have done over the last 6 months, to be honest, is that we have been very understanding and very, very relaxed in terms of just trying to get them back into the field of school. But we are going to get to the point where we are going to be extremely, extremely firm in ensuring that everybody meets our expectations. All right. I hope that answers your question. Michelle.
Good afternoon, everybody. The question I want to ask is about the dress code. The jeans that we're supposed to wear if we're going to the summer school, does it have to be black or blue?
No, once it's not torn or it's not for girls, it's not short up jeans, and we don't want nobody. Obviously, one of the things that we'll be reinforcing is dress, how you dress appropriately, right? So while we'll be relaxed in terms of what you wear, we won't be too relaxed with that, nor how you wear it. Because part of the objective of the summer school is to get students to understand the importance of conforming to expectations. So we will use the opportunity to say that we can't be having this to help you to know how to dress to come to school, and you want to roll up your foot and come to school. And that. You understand? So that is a part of the exercise. All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cassandra.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Wellington. My concern here is that for the bus that is coming from the New Market area, I have had my daughter complaining several times about you adjusting them and coming late. However, that bus, I have been noticing that bus runs to Lacovia, bring Lacovia student, then come back and pick up STETHS. So I realized it over sometimes now, and that is having her reaching at school late. She said sometimes she reaches school and teacher not accept her in the class, and it's not her fault. So I want, when you meet with these driver, I need you to address this problem, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will, and as your daughter told you, I've been very, very rough on that driver a couple of instances. Not only is he being very late, he's actually packing that bus too much.
Very much, so, because she's having challenging now. When sometimes she come home, she's pain, she's cramp, and she's having so much discomfort. So I really, really need you to talk to the New Market driver. I don't know if it's the both of them doing that or what, but that's need to be sorted out.
Yeah, man.
That's my concern.
I will deal with it, and I will get people to help me to deal with it.
Good.
All right, thank you very much. Marlene, you can unmute and go ahead. Sorry, Marlene. Unmute again. I accidentally muted you back. Right.
Yes, a pleasant good evening again, Mr. Wellington, teachers and parents. As a parent for STETHS, I'm so excited and happy for the program that is going to be. And I will be there to participate sometimes. It is very exciting. I'm so happy and thrilled. So you guys keep up the good work, and I'm so happy to be a family.
Thank you very much, Marlene. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
A. Rodney. A. Rodney. A. Rodney, you can unmute yourself, right?
Oh, good night, everyone.
Good night.
I'm asking about the activities that will be present. Is it that those are already like the students can choose which activities they would like to do?
Right. You're going to get, right, the students will get an option. Mr. Oman, you can answer.
Yes. We will be sending out by the latest Monday the sheet that will have the various activities on it for students to choose. So we're going to be sending them in the Google Classrooms for you to choose the 3 activities that you are interested in.
And that's a weekly thing, since each activity is
We're going to do the same activities for the 5 weeks, yes.
Oh, same activities.
Yes, so whatever activity you do this week, you're going to do the same activity next week. But of course, the persons who will be facilitating you with those activities will come with different things for each week.
Oh, okay. Are the activities that can be certified, as you said, by heart? Are those only open to students?
Those by heart for your age group, because most of the heart activities are not really for you, but for those for you will be nail care attendant, plumbing, and the game creation and app designing. Once that one gets off the way, those are the 3 that you can be certified for.
The lower school, that's for lower school.
Yes.
And can non-students attend these activities if they want to learn, or is it just for the students?
Sir, answer that one for me, please.
So that discussion that has come up quite a few times, that question has been asked. Also, the question about students, if, for example, a child has a brother or a sister going to another school and the parents want to send both of them, would we facilitate it? Just give us a little time. Let us get all our house in order, and then we'll be able to answer those questions.
Okay, thank you, sir, because I would like to attend some.
Okay.
I'm not the parent either, I'm the older sister.
Okay. All right, no
Thank
problem.
You, sir.
Yeah. All right, Renisha, you can unmute and go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Wellington.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm having an issue here. My daughter, bringing her book today. The home economic book. The staff is telling her that it's not that book, which I don't understand. They are telling her that they had 1-4 and they only have 4. Which way I know that them make the mistake and they don't write in that she bringing the
parent. That is not a problem that can be solved here. So my suggestion is that you ask your daughter to go to her form teacher or her grade coordinator so that person can assist him or her. Well, her.
Okay, sir. Thanks much.
All right, Sanja.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sir, even though this is a great initiative, sir, and you say it's mandatory, I have twin boys and it is very expensive and hard for me to even send them to school on a weekly basis. So if they do miss, for example, a week, what would be the repercussion of this? Because, I was preparing to say, okay, we have summer and I can put down that $15,000 per week that I normally use to send them to school to assist with uniform, shoes, etc. But now that they have to go prolong this for 5 weeks.
Where they live?
We're in Manchester.
We're in Manchester.
We're in Greenville, Manchester. So we have to take 2 taxis.
Who's the form teacher? Well, sorry, no, don't answer that question. Grade 7 or 8?
They're in grade 8.
All right, so just give Just ask them to come to me tomorrow morning.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Michelle.
Good evening, Mr. Wellington.
Good evening.
Good evening, parents. So I joined a little bit late. I totally messed up on the time and I joined a little bit late. I'm not sure all of the details that was said before, but just hearing my views in support of the program. I'm not sure if Mrs. Winter had mentioned this, but a strategy that we could use to get other children out. We're the few that you mentioned that are always present for most of the meetings. If we could ask our children to encourage their friends, encourage their classmates, to come out to the program. Listen, we're going to have summer school and, all sort of excitement. You must come, man, tell the parents you want to come, those type of stuff. So at least you can, get a feedback as to, get it out there more. And it's not only us as adults saying to them that, okay, you're having summer school and it's mandatory and, but having their friends encourage them. We could encourage our children to encourage them to participate.
Well said, Michelle. And one strategy too is to encourage the students. Well, point out to the students that is not punish you, anybody is punish them. It's not a punishment. It's actually something we're doing to try and help them. And that is one of the reasons, for example, why we're not going to be talking about those who never get all their maths right in exam, or those who absent from English class. We're not talking about those things, right? What we're talking about is the other side of the students' development, because we believe that if the students are disciplined, they are focused, if they are enjoying what they're doing, we know already that they are bright students, and therefore they will be able to do what is expected of them academically. So we're not concerned about that, and it is not punishment. We're just making use of the opportunity to help them. All right. Somebody asked, what can you as parents contribute? What can you as parents contribute to make this work? Well, I don't know that there's any specific. What we have asked is that for parents, if you have outstanding fees, then you try and make sure that you pay it up or pay a part of it so that we have a little extra money that we can use to get the resources. Also, as parents, you can volunteer to come in and speak with the students or teach them something during one of the sessions. Or if you know of somebody who is an expert at something, suppose you know of somebody who's a really good motivational speaker, right? Who you can talk to come and talk to the students, then great, we'll accept that as well. So anything that you can think of that you think may be able to help, just let us know. Even if we say no, sir, that can't work, that's fine, right? Just let us know what your ideas are, so that because what we are actually doing, is try to parent these kids, right? So whatever you can do, we will appreciate it. All right. So as I said, somebody's asking about reports. So we're trying to make sure that during the week of July, that last week of July, we will be issuing the reports, right? 1 day per grade level. Let me see if there were a couple of other questions in the chat.
So for parents who probably want to come in and assist, they can come and assist the persons who are going to be facilitating the activities, because each class will have approximately 20 students, and I know these persons will be glad to have other persons come in and assist them while they are helping the children.
Yes, right. And we mentioned that it is mandatory. If students have to go abroad or there's something that the student has to do, just let us know. What we don't want is for students to be absent, and we never knew before they were going to be absent, or we don't hear anything as to why they're absent. Because the truth is, many of these students are parenting themselves. Some of these students, they are actually students who control them yard. Anything them say goes. So we're not accepting that they're just absent and that's it, right? So that's another question. Then we have two more hands up. Can Delores go unmute and go ahead? Delores, you can unmute and go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Are you muted?
afternoon, everyone.
Good evening. Dolores, your internet is not well.
Are you hearing me?
You're
Yes,
cracking up,
good
but go
evening.
ahead.
I came in late to the meet, but my guess is that it's about. All right, I'm saying that I came in late and get on, but I'm assuming the meaning to the school. Hello?
No, Dolores, your line is not good. I don't think your internet is good
Hello?
enough. So
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you now, but you keep chipping in and out.
Are you hearing me? You're hearing me now?
Yes.
Are you hearing me now, sir?
I responded yes about 3 times.
Okay, let me go closer to the Wi-Fi, so probably that's the problem.
Still
I was
right where you are,
saying
sir.
that I'm not sure what all right, I'm not sure what the topic was, but I'm assuming it's about the summer school. Is this summer school for free? And will the buses be traveling? Because I came in late, so I had to be asking these questions.
Yeah, man. So,
Are the
can you just
buses
wait
traveling
until
to pick the students up?
can you just wait until the meeting is finished and we're going to post the recording in the group? You can go ahead and watch, and those
good.
questions have been answered multiple times, right? So when the meeting is finished, we'll
Very
post
good.
the
Thank you.
recording in the group. You can go ahead and listen.
Thank you very much.
All right, good. Brianna.
Good evening, Mr. Wellington. My name is Juliet Robinson, the parents of Jodine Simit from 8C.
Yes.
All right. I called school like 3 times to speak to you or the dean, and my number was left and nobody returned my call. 3 separate occasions, and I spoke to the young lady in the office about the kids in his class keep calling him out of his name. And I call and I tell the young lady what I'm calling about. She said should have the dean call me back, and I have 3 conversations with her, and neither you nor the dean I didn't hear from, because they said that he said they're calling him name, fat boy, whatever, everything like that. And I said, do you speak to anybody? Like, they're not gonna do anything. So I called myself to make a complaint, but was told you weren't there, and they would have the dean called me back like 3 times, and nobody have ever called me back.
Okay.
Another thing is bus. The bus been breaking down quite a bit since the other day, because he got home late this evening because the bus break down for like over 2.5 hours in Goshen. And the other day he get to school like 10 o'clock. So I don't know if you guys are affiliated directly with the bus, because I spoke to the driver the other day and he said they were broken down when I called to say where was he. And it happened like a few times. Well, so I just talked to the young man this evening, and he was telling me, oh, they are machines, so there's nothing they can do. And I'm like, okay, it's been happening for a while, so something is going on. The other day they come.
Right, so you don't live in Jamaica, right?
Yes, I'm in Jamaica. Yes, I'm in Jamaica. You know,
And
I'm
you
back
said
and
you're
forth.
his parent?
Yes.
So who made the arrangement with the bus driver to take him to and from school?
I made the arrangements with the bus drivers, but when I call, he's telling me this evening, because when I was told the bus was broken down for 3 hours, and I tell him it's been happening quite a bit, he's telling me like, okay, it's machine, so there was nothing he can do. The other day, Jordan said they reached school like 10 o'clock because the bus come very late, and it been coming late. I don't know what's the problem.
Which bus? Where does the child live?
John, we take it at Downs, Indian.
Oh, so all right. So I will speak with the driver, but remember that's a private arrangement between you and the bus. So the child is free to take any transportation he wants. So,
okay.
So it's a private arrangement that you would have made with that driver.
Okay, and also he's not going to be able to go to the summer school, as you're aware that he goes away on holidays. So I'll send you an itinerary. But the issue with the name calling, I don't think it's appropriate because it's pretty much those things cause friction, and I don't want anything happen to him or any other student. So
And you
I
can
really
send
would
him,
like
you can send him to Mr. Kogel tomorrow.
Okay, actually I could speak to him because I have his number. But when I called for you, they say you weren't there. I tell the lady
Then
what I'm
miss,
calling
then you have
about.
Mr. Kogel number and you're trying to speak directly with the principal.
But I don't know who is Mr. Kogel. I spoke to him before when I was getting his book, but I don't know what he does in school. But
He's
when
the
the young
vice
lady
principal.
tell me,
He's the vice
oh,
principal.
I didn't know where Mr. Wellington, because when
And
she
you
told me
said
she
you're the
loved me, she
parent?
called me back. Yes, my name is Juliet Robinson. Yes, I'm the parent of Jordan Smith.
Okay.
And they call him name, and I think he's feared to even tell me because he's like, Grandma, if you come to school, it's gonna get worse. And I'm like, I have to come and speak to Mr. Wellington because if this continue, it's not good. Like they call him out of his name, and it's been constant. I guess he just try to ignore them or something like that. And I really, really like that to stop.
Okay. All right, miss.
All right. Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Wellington.
All right, good. So we have gone an hour now. I think we have had a very good meeting. I don't know, are there any other questions? Keisha had her hand up and then put it down. But I don't know if let me see if Keisha is still here. But Keisha is volunteering to offer some assistance. And I'm going to speak with her. She's a parent who works with Corporate Jamaica, and I'm sure she's going to find something that we can help to incentivize some of the students' involvement. See 2 hands coming up. Let me take these 2 hands quickly before we close. So let me go to Josephine. Josephine.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Wellington, and good evening, everyone. Sir, I live in Prospect, and I have a problem with the bus running from Prospect. It's actually broken down often now. Sometimes my daughter don't come.
Right, so it is the same bus, Prospect down, same bus that Miss Robinson just spoke about.
Alligator Pan.
Miss?
Yeah?
If you were listening, the person who spoke before you, Miss Robinson, I am sure it is the same bus she spoke about. So it's the same advice that I gave to Miss Robinson I would give to you.
But actually that bus is not the school provide that bus.
No, the school has 2 blue and yellow buses, miss. We don't have any other bus or operate any bus. There's a private arrangement. When you were arranging for the child to travel by that bus, you didn't speak with us. It's a
No, I
private
never made. No, I didn't make any arrangement with any bus. I did not make any arrangement. I got the list of the bus that will picking up the students from Prospect, down, Span. I have that list on my phone.
Yeah, man, because these bus drivers, they tell us that they are on the route and we provide the information to you, but it is not that they must travel on these buses. So if if your child is taking a bus and you're not satisfied with the service, then as parents, you could also get another bus or ask somebody else to run the route because the school don't operate buses.
Okay, well, I never know that now, so I will know what to do now.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
All right, Latoya.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's a great initiative that you guys are making for the students to have the summer program. However, my son won't be able to go because his ticket has already been bought. But you mentioned before that the school report won't be ready until July, the end of July. Is there a way that he could get the report before that?
No, you'll not be able to get the report before that because the reports are, remember, they have exams right up to next week, Friday. So that the teachers will know then have to complete marking the scripts and putting on the grades onto the system, and then they are printed. But the reports will not be ready before then.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, that was the final hand. Did you want to go beyond the hour? We are just about now on the hour. Let me thank you very much, parents. As soon as we are finished tidying up all the arrangements, we are going to meet with you during the week when school is closed and just before they come back, so that we can discuss the finer details. Again, remember, we are saying that it is mandatory. However, if there is valid excuse for the child to be absent, then you need to inform us. If the child has booked a ticket or the child will be spending summer holidays abroad, then please inform us and give us evidence that that is so. But please remember that you still have a responsibility to ensure that the child is prepared to meet the expectations of the school. So thank you very much again, parents. Have a very good evening, and we look forward to continue to do our best together to ensure that your child becomes the best person that he or she can. Thank you and good night.